She will come straight. Look you late home to her. Tell her her pranks have been too broad to bear with, and that your grace hath screamed and stood between much need and her. I'll sconce me even here. Pray you be round with her.
Mother! Mother!
I'll warrant you, fear me not. Withdraw, I hear her coming.
Now, mother, what's the matter?
Hamlet, thou hast thy father much offended.
Mother, you have my father much offended.
Come, you answer with an idle tongue.
Go, you question with a wicked tongue.
Have you forgot me?
No, but the rude, not so. You are the queen, your husband's brother's wife. And would it were not so, you are my mother.
Oh, nay then, I'll set those to you that can speak.
Come, and sit you down. You shall not budge. You go not till I set you up a glass that you may see the inmost part of you.
What wilt thou do? Thou wilt not murder me. Oh, help! Oh, help! What help? Help! Help! Help!
How now? A rat. Dead for a ducat. Dead!
I am slain. What a rash, bloody deed is this?
A bloody deed. Almost as bad, good mother, as kill a king and marry with his brother.
As kill a king.
Aye, lady, 'twas my word. Thou wretched, rash, intruding fool. Farewell. I took thee for thy better. Leave wringing of your hands. Peace, sit you down, and let me wring your heart. For so I shall if it be made of penetrable stuff.
What have I done that thou darest wag thy tongue in noise so rude against
Such an
me?
act that blurs the grace and blush of modesty, calls virtue hypocrite, takes off the rose from the fair forehead of an innocent love, and sets a blister there.
Me. What act that roars so loud and thunders in the index?
Look here, upon this picture, and on this, the counterfeit presentment of two brothers. See what a grace was seated on this brow, a combination and a form indeed, where every god did seem to set his seal to give the world assurance of a man. This was your husband. Look you now what follows. Here is your husband, like a mildewed ear, blasting his wholesome brother. Have you eyes? You cannot call it love, for at your age the heyday in the blood is tame. It's humble and waits upon the judgment. And what judgment would step from this to this? Oh, shame! Where is thy blush?
Oh, Hamlet! Speak no more. Thou turn'st mine eyes into my very soul. There I see such black and grained spots as will not leave their taint.
Nay, but to live in the rank sweat of an enseamed bed, stewed in corruption, honeying and making love over the nasty sky.
Oh, speak to me no more! These words like daggers enter in mine ears.
A murderer and a villain. a slave that is not 20th part the tithe of your precedent lord, a vice of kings, a king of shreds and patches. Oh, save me, and hover over me with your wings, you heavenly guards. What would your gracious figure?
Alas, she's mad.
Do not you come, your tardy child, to chide that lapsed in time and passion lets go by the important acting of your dread command. Oh, say!
Do not forget, this visitation is but to whet thy almost blunted purpose. But look, amazement on thy mother sits. Oh, step between her and her fighting soul. Speak to her, Hamlet!
How is it with you, lady?
Alas, how is with you that you should bend your eye on vacancy and with the incorporeal air do hold discourse?
Can you see nothing there?
Nothing at all. Yet all that is I see.
Why, look you there! Look how it steals away! My father in his habit as he lived. Look where he goes even now, out at the portal.
This is the very coinage of your brain. This bodiless creation ecstasy is very cunning.
Ecstasy! My pulse, as yours, doth temperately keep time. It makes as healthful music. It is not madness that I have uttered to you. Confess yourself to heaven. Repent what's past. Avoid what is to come. And do not spread the compost on the weeds to make them rancor.
Hamlet, thou hast left my heart in twain.
Oh, throw away the worser part of it and live the purer with the other half. For this same Lord, I do repent. But heaven hath pleased it so to punish me with this, and this with me. I will bestow him, and will answer well the death I gave him. One word more, good lady.
What shall I do?
Not this. By no means that I bid you do. Let the bloat king tempt you again to bed, pinch wanton on your cheek, call you his mouse, and let him for a pair of reechy kisses make you to matter all this, ravel all this matter out, that I essentially am not in madness, but mad in craft.
Be thou assured, if words be made of breath of life, I have no life to breathe what thou hast said to me.
Mother, good night. Come, sir, to draw toward an end with you.
There's matter in these sighs, these profound heaves. You must translate. 'Tis fit we understand
Oh,
them.
my good Lord! What have I seen tonight?
What, Gertrude? How does Hamlet?
Oh, that, as the sea and wind would both contend, which is the mightier, in her lawless pit, behind the arras hearing something stir, whips the unseen good old man.
Oh, heavy deed. Had you so with us had we been there. Her liberty is full of threats to all. Where is she gone?
Why, to draw apart the body she hath killed, or which, her madness, like some ore among a mineral of metal's base, it shows itself pure. She weeps for what is done.
The sun no sooner shall the mountains touch, but we will ship her hence. And this vile deed, we must, with all our majesty and skill, both countenance and excuse. Go, seek her out, speak fair, and bring the body into the chapel. I pray you haste in this. Come, Gertrude. We'll call up our wisest friends and let them know both what we mean to do and what's untimely done. Oh, come away! My soul is full of discord and dismay.
Safely stowed. What noise? Oh, who calls on Hamlet? Here they come!
What have you done, my lord, with the dead body?
Compounded it with dust, whereto 'tis came.
Tell us where it is, that we may take it thence and bear it to the chapel.
Do not believe it.
Believe what?
That I can keep my counsel and not your own? Besides, to be demanded of sponge.
Taking me for a sponge, my lord?
Aye, sir, that soaks up the king's countenance, his rewards, his authorities. Oh, but such officers do the king best service in the end. When he needs what you have gleaned, it is but squeezing you, and sponge, you shall be dry again.
I understand you not, my lord!
I'm glad of it.
My lord, you must tell us where the body is and go with us to the king!
The body is with the king. But the king is not with the body. The king is a thing.
Thing, my lord?
Of nothing. Bring me to him!
Oh! Oh, Hamlet! Come on! Come on! Hamlet! Ah! Ah!
I've sent to seek her and to find the body. How dangerous is it that this fiend goes loose? Yet must not we put the strong law on her. She's loved of the distracted multitude, who like not in their judgment, but their eyes. And where 'tis so, the offender's scourge is weighty, but never the offense. To bear all smooth and even, this sudden sending her away must seem deliberate pause.
Ah! Ah! Ah!
Now, Hamlet, where's Polonius?
At supper.
At supper? Where?
Not where he eats, but where he is eaten. A certain convocation of politic worms are in at him.
Where is Polonius?
In heaven. Send hither to see. If your messenger find him not there, seek him in the other place yourself. But indeed, if you find him not within this month, you shall notice him as you go up the stairs into the lobby.
Go seek him there.
Or he will stay until you come.
Hamlet, this deed, for thine especial safety, which we do tender, as we dearly grieve for that which thou hast done, must send thee hence with fiery quickness. Therefore prepare thyself. The bark is ready, the wind at help, the associates tend, and everything is bent for England.
Good.
So is it if thou knewest our purposes.
I see a cherub that sees them. But come, for England! Farewell, dear mother.
Thy loving father, Hamlet?
My mother. Father and mother is man and wife. Man and wife is one flesh, and so, my mother. Come. For England!
Follow her at foot. Tempt her with speed aboard. Delay it not, I'll have her hence tonight. And England, if my love thou hold'st at aught, as my great power thereof may give thee sense, since yet thy cicatrice looks raw and red after the Danish sword, thou mayst not coldly set our sovereign process, which imports at full, by letters conjuring to that effect the present death of Hamlet. Do it, England, for like the hectic in my blood she rages, and thou must cure me, till I know 'tis done, howe'er my haps my joys were ne'er begun.
Danish king. Tell him that by his license, Fortinbras craves the conveyance of a promised march over his kingdom.
I'll do it, my lord.
Go softly on.
Good sir, whose powers are these?
They are of Norway, sir.
How purposed, sir, I pray you?
Against some part of Poland.
Who commands them, sir?
Nephew to all Norway, Fortinbras.
Goes it against the main of Poland, sir, or for some frontier?
Truly to speak, and with no addition, we go to gain a little patch of ground, having it no profit but the name. To pay 5 ducats, 5, I would not farm it. Nor it yield Norway or the Pole a ranker rate to be sold in fee.
Why, then the Polak never will defend it.
Yes, it is already grizzled.
2,000 souls and 20,000 ducats will not debate the question of this straw. This is the imposture of much wealth and peace, which inward breaks and shows no cause without why the man dies. I humbly thank you, sir.
God be with you, sir.
Will it please you go, my lord? I'll be with you straight. Go a little before. How all occasions do inform against me and spur my dull revenge. What is a man if his chief good and market of his time be but to sleep and feed? A beast, no more. Sure, he that made us with such large discourse, looking before and after, gave us not that capability and God-like reason to fust in us unused. Now, whether it be bestial oblivion or some craven scruple of thinking too precisely on the event, a thought which quarter hath but 1 part wisdom and ever 3 parts coward. I do not know why yet I live to say this things to do, sith I have cause and will and strength and means to do it. Examples gross as earth exhort me, Witness this army of such mass and charge, whose spirit with divine ambition puffed makes nouns at the invisible event, exposing what is mortal and unsure to all that fortune, death, and danger dare, even for an eggshell. How stand I then, that have a father killed, a mother stained, excitements in my reason and my blood, and let all sleep, while to my shame I see the imminent death of 20,000 men that for a fantasy and trick of fame go to their graves like beds. Fight for a plot whereon the numbers cannot try the cause, which is not tomb enough and continent to hide the slain. Oh, from this time forth, my thoughts be bloody or be nothing worth.
Much of her father. She says she hears there's tricks in the world, and hems and beats her heart.
Oh, the beauteous majesty of Denmark!
How now, Ophelia?
How should I your true love know from another one? By his cockle hat and staff, and his sandal shoon.
Alas, sweet lady, what imports this song?
Say you? Nay, pray you mark. He is dead and gone, lady, he is dead and gone. At his head a grass green turf, at his heels a stone.
Nay, but Ophelia, alas, look you here, my lord.
Blooded with sweet flowers, which she wept to the grave, did go with true love showers.
How do you, pretty lady?
Oh, God, it'll do. They say the owl was a baker's daughter. Lord, we know what we are. No, not what we may be. God be at your table.
Conceit upon her father.
Pray you will start to work with this. But when they ask you what it means, say you this. Tomorrow is St. Valentine's Day, all in from the morning time, and I leaned at your window to be your Valentine. Then up she rose and donned her clothes and ducked the chamber door. Let in the maid, let out a maid, never departed more.
How long hath she been thus?
All will be well. We must be patient. Oh, but I cannot choose but weep. The things they should lay into the cold ground. My brother shall know of this. And so, we thank you for your good counsel. Come, my coach.
Follow her close. Give her good watch, I pray you. This is the poison of deep grief. It springs all from her father's death. Oh, Gertrude, Gertrude! When sorrows come, they come not single spies, but in battalions. First, her father slain. Next, your child gone, and she most violent author of her own just remove. The people moneyed, thick and unwholesome in their thoughts and whispers for good Polonius' death. Next, poor Ophelia, divided from herself and her fair judgment. Last, and as much containing as all these, her brother is in secret come from France, feeds on this wonder, keeps...
Black! What noise is this?
What is the matter?
Save yourself, my lord. The ocean, overpeering of his list, eats not the flats with more impetuous haste than young Laertes. It'll ride his head, overbears your officer. The rabble call him lord. They cry, choose we. Laertes shall be king. Couch, hands, and tongue to watch it is loud. Laertes shall be king. Laertes king. Where is this king? Stand you all of them! I pray you hear me, please.
Oh, thou vile king! Where is my father?
Calm me, good Laertes.
That drop of blood that's come proclaims me bastard! Cries cuckold to my father! Brands the harlot even here, between the chaste, unsmirched brows of my true mother.
What is the cause, Laertes, that thy rebellion looks so giant-like? Let him go, Gertrude! Tell me, Laertes, why thou art thus incensed? Let him go, Gertrude. Speak, man.
Where is my father?
Dead.
But not by him!
Let him demand his fill.
How came he dead? I'll not be juggled with. To hell allegiance, vow to the blackest devil. Let come what comes, only I will be revenged most thoroughly for my father.
If you desire to know the certainty of your father's death, is't writ in your revenge that swoopstake you will draw both friend and foe, winner and loser?
None but his enemies.
Will you know them then?
His good friends. Thus why will I ope mine arms, and like the kind life-rendering pelican, repast them with my blood.
Why, now you speak like a good child and a true gentleman. That I am guiltless of your father's death, and am most sensible in grief for it. It shall as level to your judgment pierce as day does to your eye.
Now, what noise is this? Dry up my brains. Tears 7 times salt. Burn out the sense and virtue of mine eye. By heavens, your madness shall be paid for by weight, till our scale turn the beam. Rose of May, kind sister, sweet Ophelia.
It bore him barefaced on the bier. Hey, naughty, naughty, hey, naughty. And in his grave rained many a tear. Fare you well, my dove?
Hadst thou thy wits, and did persuade revenge, it could not move thus.
There's rosemary, that's for remembrance. Pray, love, remember. There's pansies, that's for thoughts. There's fennel for you. And columbines. There's rue for you. And here's some for me. Only you must wear your rue with a difference. There's a daisy. I'd give you violence, but they withered all when my father died. So you made a good end.
Thoughts and affliction, passion, hell itself. And she turns to favor and to prettiness.
And will he not come again? And will he not come again?
No, no, he is dead. Gonna die deathbed. He never will come again. His beard was as white as snow. All flaxen was his poll. He is gone, and we cast away moan. God have mercy on his soul! And all Christian souls, I pray God. God be with ye.
Do you see this, O God?
Laertes, I must commune with your grief. Be you content to lend your patience to us, and we will jointly labor with your soul to give it due content.
Let this be so. His means of death, his obscure funeral, no trophy, nor sword, nor hatchments o'er his bones, no noble rites, nor formal ostentation. Cry, as it were, from heaven to earth, that I must call it into question.
So you shall. And where the offense is, let the great axe fall. I pray you. Go with me.
What are you that would speak with me?
Oh.
Ratio. And we were 2 days old at sea, a pirate. A very warlike appointment gave us chase. Finding ourselves too slow of sail, we put on a compelled valor, and in the grapple I boarded them on the instant they got clear of our ship. So I alone became their prisoner. Oh, they have dealt with me like thieves of mercy. But they knew what they did. I am to do a good turn for them. Good turn. Let the king have the letters I have sent, and repair thou to me with as much speed as thou wouldst fly death. I have words to speak in thine ear will make thee dumb. This good fellow will direct thee where I am. Farewell, she that thou knowest thine, Hamlet. Come, I'll give you way for these your letters, and do it the speedier that you may direct me to her from whom you brought them.
Now you must put me in your heart for friend, sith you have heard and with a knowing ear that she which hath your noble father slain pursued my life.
Well appears. But tell me why you proceeded not against these feats, so crimeful and capital in nature, as by your safety, wisdom, all things else, you mainly were stirred up.
The queen, her mother, lives almost by her looks, and for myself, she's so conjunctive to my life and soul, that as the star moves not but in his sphere, I could not but by her. The other motive, why to a public account I might not go, is the great love the general gender bear her.
And so, have I a noble father slain, a sister driven to desperate terms, whose worth, if praises may go back again, stood challenger on mount of all the age. My revenge will come.
Break not your sleeps for that. I loved your father, and we love ourselves, and that I hope will teach you to imagine. How now? What news?
Letters, my lord, from Hamlet. This to your majesty, and this to the queen.
Laertes, you shall hear them. Leave us. High and mighty, you shall know I am set naked on your kingdom. Tomorrow shall I beg leave to see your kingly eyes, when I shall, first asking your pardon thereunto, recount the occasion of my sudden and most strange return. Hamlet, how should this be? Are all the rest come back? Or is it some abuse and no such thing? Can you advise me?
I'm lost in it, my lord, but let her come. It warms the very sickness in my heart that I shall see her and tell her to her teeth, thus didst thou.
If it be so, Laertes, as how should it be so? How otherwise? Will you be ruled by me?
I, my lord? So you will not overrule me to a peace?
To thine own peace. If Hamlet is returned as checking at her voyage, and that she means no more to undertake it, I will work her to an exploit now ripe in my device, under the which she shall not choose but fall. And for her death, no wind of blame shall breathe, but e'en her mother shall uncharge the practice and call it accident.
My lord, I will be ruled. The rather if you could devise it so that I might be the organ.
It falls right. Hamlet being returned shall know you are come home. We'll put on those shall praise your excellence and wager on your heads. She being remiss will not peruse the foils, so that with ease, or with a little shuffling, you may choose a sword unbaited, and in a pass of practice, requite her for your father.
I will do it. And to that effect, I will anoint my sword. I bought an unction of a mountebank so mortal that but dip a knife in it where it draws blood, no cataplasm so rare can save the thing from death. I'll touch my points with this contagion so that if I gall her but slightly, it may be death.
Let's further think of this. Weigh what convenience both of time and means may fit us to our shape. If this should fail, 'twere better not essayed. Therefore this project should have a back or second that might hold if this should blast proof. Soft. Let me see. We'll put a solemn wager on your comings, I have it. When in your motions you are hot and dry, and that she calls for drink, I'll have prepared her a chalice for the nonce, whereon but sipping, if she by chance escape your venom stuck, our purpose may hold there. How now, sweet queen?
Oh, one woe doth tread upon another's heels so fast they follow. Your sister's drowned, Laertes.
Drowned? Where?
There is a willow. Grows a brook that shows his hoar leaves in the glassy stream. There, with fantastic garlands did she come of crowflowers, nettles, daisies, and long purples that liberal shepherds give a grosser name. But our cold maids do dead men's fingers call them. There, on the pendant boughs, her coronet weeds clambering to hang. An envious sliver broke. Went down her weedy trophies and herself fell. In the weeping brook, her clothes spread wide. Mermaid-like, while they bore her up, which time she enchanted snatches of old tunes as one incapable of her own distress, or like a creature native and endued upon that element, but long it could not be, till that her garments, heavy with their drink, pulled the poor wretch from melodious lay to muddy death.
Too much of water hast thou, poor Ophelia, and thus I forbid my tears. But it is no trick. Nature her custom holds. Let shame say what it will. Adieu, my lord. I have a speech that fain would glaze, but that this folly doubts it.
Let's follow Gertrude. How much I had to do to calm his rage. Now fear I this will give it start again. Therefore let's follow.
Methought it was very sweet to contract all the time for my home. Oh, methought there was nothing.
Had this fellow no feeling of his business that he sings at grave making?
Custom had made it in a property of easiness. But he, with his stealing steps, had clawed me in his clutch, and had shipped me into the land as if I had never been such.
That skull had a tongue in it, and could sing once. How the knave jowls it to the ground as if it were Cain's jawbone that did the first murder. I will speak to this fellow. Whose grave's this, Sarah?
Mine, my lady.
What man dost thou dig it for?
For no man, my lady.
What woman then?
For none neither.
Who is to be buried in it?
One that was a woman, my lady. But, rest her soul, she's dead.
How absolute the name is. How long hast thou been a grave maker?
Of all the days in the year, I came to it the very day
that young Hamlet was born. She that is mad and sent into England.
I'm married. Why was she sent to England?
Why? Because she was mad! She shall recover her wits there. Or, if she do not, it is no great matter there.
Why not?
There, the women are as mad as she.
How came she mad?
Faith. Even with losing her wits.
Upon what ground?
Why, here! In Denmark!
How long will a man lie in the earth ere he rot?
In faith, if he be not rotten before he die, he'll last you some 8 year or 9 year. Here is a skull now. This skull has lain in the earth 23 years.
Whose was it?
He poured a flagon of Rhenish on my head once. This skull, sir, was York's skull, the king's jester.
Let me see. Alas, poor Yorick. I knew him, Horatio. A fellow of infinite jest, of most excellent fancy. Oh, he hath borne me on his back 1,000 times. And now, how abhorred in my imagination it is. My gorge rims at it. Here hung those lips that I have kissed, I know not how oft. Where be your jibes now? Your gambols, your songs, your flashes of merriment that were wont to set the table on a roar. Not one now to mock your own grinning. Prithee, Horatio, tell me one thing.
What's that, my lord?
Dost thou think Alexander looked to this fashion in the earth?
Even so, my lord.
And smelled so? Oh, not so. To what base uses we may return, Horatio? Why, may not imagination trace the noble dust of Alexander till he find it stopping a bunghole?
'Twere to consider too curiously to consider that.
But soft aside, here comes the king.
Oh.
The queen, the courtiers. Who is this they follow? With such mated rights?
What ceremony else?
Her obsequies have been as far enlarged as we have warranties. Her death was doubtful, and but that great commandor sways the order, she should in ground unsanctified have lodged till the last trumpet.
Lay her in the earth. From her fair and unpolluted flesh may violence spring. I tell thee, churlish priest, a ministering angel will my sister be, while thou liest howling.
What? The fair Ophelia?
sweets to the sweet. Farewell. I hoped thou shouldst have been my Hamlet's wife. I thought thy bride bed to have decked, sweet maid, not to have strewed thy grave.
Treble woe fall 10 times treble on that cursed head, whose wicked deed thy most ingenious sense deprives thee of. Hold off the earth a while, until I have caught it once more. Now, pile your earth upon the quick and dead, till of this flat a mountain you have made.
Who is she whose grief bears such an emphasis? Whose praise of sorrow conjures the wandering stars and makes them stand like wonder-wounded hearers? This is I, Hamlet the Dead.
Yeah, the devil take thy soul!
Thou prayest not! I prithee take thy fingers from my throat!
Pluck them asunder!
I loved Ophelia! 40,000 brothers, but not with all their quantity of loving of myself. What will that do for her? Would weep, would fight, would fast, would tear thyself. Be very quick with her, and so will I. I'll rest as well as thou. Mere madness! What is the reason that you used force? I loved you ever.
Be you content to lend your patience. Strengthen your patience in our last night's speech. We'll put the matter to the present push.
Fighting that would not let me sleep. Methought I'd lay worse than the mutinies in the bilboes. Rashly, and praised be rashness for it. Let us note our indiscretion sometimes serves us well when our deep plots do pall. And that should teach us there's a divinity that shapes our ends. Rough hew them how we will.
That is most certain.
Up from my cabin, in the dark, groped I to find out them, had my desire, fingered their packet, and in fine withdrew to mine own room again, making so bold, my fears forgetting manners, to unseal their grand commission, where I found Horatio. Oh, royal knavery, an exact command that on the supervise, no leisure baited, no, not to stay the grinding of the axe, my head should be struck off.
Is possible.
Here's the commission. I sat me down, devised a new commission, wrote it fair, an earnest conjuration from the king, as England was his faithful tributary, that on the view and knowing of these contents, without debatement further, more or less, he should the bearers put to sudden death not striving time allows.
So, Guildenstern and Rosencrantz, go to it?
Why, man, they did make love to this employment. They are not near my conscience. Their defeat does by their own insinuation grow.
Why, what a king is this?
Does it not, thinkest thee, stand me now upon? He that hath killed my king, and whored my mother, and with such cozenage, is't not perfect conscience to quit him with this arm, and is not to be damned to let this canker of our nature come in further evil? But I am very sorry, good Horatio, that to Laertes I forgot myself.
Oh, peace! Who comes here?
Your lordship is right welcome back to Denmark.
I humbly thank you, sir.
Sweet lord, if your lordship were at leisure, I should impart a thing to you from his majesty.
I will receive it, sir, with all diligence of spirit.
My lord, the king has bade me signify to you that he has placed a great wager on your head. Sir, this is the matter. Here has recently come to court Laertes, believe me, an absolute gentleman, full of most excellent differences, of very soft society and great show.
Sir, his definement suffers no perdition in you.
You are not ignorant of what excellence Laertes is.
Oh, I dare not confess that.
I mean, sir, for his weapon. But in the imputation laid on him by them, in his meed he's unfellowed.
What's his weapon?
Rapier and dagger. The king, sir, hath wagered with him 6 Barbary horses, that in a dozen passes between yourself and him, he shall not exceed you 3 hits. And it would come to immediate trial, if your lordship would vouchsafe the answer.
Sir, I will walk here in the hall. If it please his majesty, 'tis the breathing time of day with me, let the foils be brought. I will win for him, and I can. If not, I gain nothing but my shame in the odd hits.
I commend my duty to your lordship.
My lord, you will lose this wager.
I do not think so. I will win at the odds. But thou must not think how ill all's here about my heart. But it is no matter.
Nay, good my lord.
It is but foolery.
If your mind dislike any part of it, obey it. I'll forestall the repair hither and say you are not fit.
Not a whit. We defy augury. There's a special providence in the fall of a sparrow. If it be now, 'tis not to come. If it be not to come, it will be now. If it be not now, yet it will come. The readiness is all. Since no man has aught of what he leaves, what is't to leave betimes?
Come, Hamlet, come and take this hand from me.
Give me your pardon, sir, I've done you wrong. But pardon it, as you are a gentleman. What I have done that might your nature, honor, and exception roughly awake, I here proclaim was madness. Sir, in this audience, let my disclaiming from a purposed evil free me so far in your most generous thoughts that I have shot mine arrow over the house and hurt my brother.
I am satisfied in nature, whose motive should stir me most to my revenge. But in my terms of honor, I stand aloof and will no reconcilement, till by some elder masters of known honor I have a voice and precedent of peace to keep my name ungored. But till that time I take your offered love like love, and will not wrong it.
I embrace it freely, and will this brother's wager frankly play. Bring us the foils, come on.
Come, one for me.
Give them the foils.
Your grace hath placed the odds on the weaker side.
Oh, I do not fear it. I have seen you both, and since he's better, we have therefore odds.
This is too heavy. Let me see another.
Set me the stoops of wine upon that table. If Hamlet give the first or second hit, the king shall drink to Hamlet's better breath, and in the cup a union shall he throw, richer than that which 4 successive kings in Denmark's crown have worn. Give me the cups, and you, the judge, bear a wary eye.
Come on, sir.
Come, my lord.
A very palpable.
Well then, again!
Hey! Give me drink. Hamlet, this pearl is thine. Here's to thy health. Give her the cup.
Set it by a while. I'll play the spout first. Come. Another hit. What's it?
Touch. You know that.
Our child shall win.
She's scant of breath. Here, Hamlet, take my napkin. Rub thy brows. The queen carouses to thy fortunes, Hamlet.
Good madam.
Gertrude, do not drink.
I will, my lord. I pray you pardon me.
I dare not drink yet, madam. By and by.
Oh, come, let me wipe thy face.
My lord. I'll hit her now.
Come for the third, Laertes.
Have at you now.
Villainy. Oh, let the door be locked! Treachery! Seek it out!
Hamlet! It is here. Hamlet, thou art slain. No medicine in the world can do thee good. And thee there is but half an hour of life. The treacherous instrument is in your hand. Unbait it and envenom. The foul practice hath turned itself on me. For lo, here I lie, never to rise again. Your mother's poison, Hamlet. I can no more. The king! Oh, the king's to blame.
The point envenomed too. Then venom to thy wife!
I had to defend because I am not hurt.
Here, thou incestuous, murderous, damned Dane, drink off this potion. Is thy union here? Follow my mother.
He was well served. Exchange forgiveness with me, Hamlet. Reminded my father's debts come on thee. Nor thine on me.
Heaven make thee free of it. I follow thee. I am dead, Horatio. Oh, wretched queen. Adieu. You that look pale and tremble at this chance that are but mutes or audience to this act, had I but time. As this fell sergeant Death is strict in his arrest. Oh, I could tell you. But let it be. Horatio, I am dead. Thou livest. Report me, and my cause aright to the unsatisfied.
Never believe it. I am more an antique Roman than a Dane.
Here's yet some liquor left.
As thou art a man, give me the cup. Let go. I have it. If thou didst ever hold me in thy heart, absent me from felicity a while, and in this harsh world, draw thy breath in pain to tell my story. What warlike noise is this?
Young Fortinbras, with conquest comes from Poland, gives this warlike volley.
I die, Horatio. But I do prophesy the election light on Fortinbras. He has my dying voice. So tell him, with the occurrence, more or less, which have solicited, the rest is silence.
Now cracks a noble heart. Good night, sweet prince. The flights of angels sing thee to thy rest.
Where is this sight?
What is it you would see? If aught of more wonder cease your search.
This quarry cries on havoc. Oh, proud death, what feast is toward in thine eternal cell, that thou so many princes at a shot so bloodily hast struck?
You from the Polack wars are here arrived. Give order that these bodies high on a stage be placed to the view. And let me speak to the yet unknowing world how these things came about. So shall you hear of carnal, bloody and unnatural acts, of accidental judgments and casual slaughters, of deaths put on by a cunning and a forced cause, and in this upshot, purposes mistook fallen on the inventor's heads. All this can I truly deliver.
Let us haste to hear it. Call the noblest to the audience. For me, with sorrow, I embrace my fortune. I have some rights of memory in this kingdom, which now to claim my vantage doth invite me.
Of that I shall have also cause to speak. And from her mouth whose voice will draw no more. But let the same be presently performed, even while men's minds are wild, lest more mischance on plots and errors happen.
Let four captains bear Hamlet like a soldier to the stage. She was likely that she'd been put on to have proved most royally. And for her passage, the soldiers' music and the rites of war speak loudly for her. Take up the bodies. Such a sight as this becomes the field, but here shows much amiss. Go, bid the soldiers shoot.